So these are all the standard objects. So for suppose you know about leads, campaigns, accounts, contacts, and opportunities. For suppose you have a requirement to modify or to create some new field in the account object. For doing that, simply come to customize, expand it, click on accounts, expand it, click on the expand button, and click on fields. This option is useful for checking the existing fields in the system. You can manage these fields by clicking on edit, and you can also manage these fields by clicking on edit and delete. All the custom fields can be deletable also, but while coming to the standard fields, you cannot delete this. These are all the standard fields given by Salesforce by default when you got the license from Salesforce. You can't delete this, but these are the fields created by you or by your administrator or following developer who created this field based on some requirement by your business person. So if you don't like that field, if you don't need that field, you can delete it. Again, thus deleted options will be in recycle bin for 15 days. Okay, right. So if you want to create a new field, click on new, and you click on select the data type what you want to create. I'm going to show that to create a new field today. My requirement is on the account object. I want to create a text field, that is account history, some field. I don't have any requirement, but I'm simply creating that. Okay, account history is the field which I want to create on the account object. Okay, for that what I'm doing is I went to the account object and I clicked on fields. I clicked on new. I'm here on this page. Now I'm clicking on text field. See, these are all the field types by Salesforce. So this is I want to explain these field types now. These are the data types of fields. Okay, in this data type, in this field data types, there are relationship fields. There are formula field, means there are auto generated value fields. So these fields are auto generated. You don't need to provide value to this. Auto number field will automatically generate value based on your record count. For suppose why we use auto number fields. Okay, we use auto number field for counting specific invoices or sample requests like this. For suppose you can give some simple format like INV. For invoice calculation, I give a format like INV hyphen 000001. That's the starting invoice. The second invoice is INV hyphen 000002. Third invoice is same thing with 3. That type of invoices I can, because each and every invoice will be having a unique ID. By querying with that ID, I have to identify the invoice. You can't duplicate that, because invoice is a important record what you're creating in the system to store the amount you are requesting from customer. For suppose if customer asks the invoice again, by searching with the customer invoice number, I can get the same invoice. I can't send the new invoice again when he's asking for the second time. That's the reason for unique identification you use auto number. Again, this auto number field is useful for automatically incrementing the invoice number, and this is automatically unique again. Okay, see, this number is automatically incremented for each new record. So it's sequence, it follows sequence, and you can give the starting number also. I can create it. Okay, I can create the sample fields from the schema builder. This is one way of creating the fields. The other way of creating the fields is again from schema builder. I showed you in the previous class. I created an object and I created some fields from here, right? I drag and drop the object, created object, and drag and drop the fields, created a field there, right? So I'm going to do that now. I want to do some different thing. I'm logging into the different instance. Okay, if I need a requirement to create for my training app, I can use that. I'll show you what I created in the previous class. I just created a vendor object that I can show it to you on the screen. This is the object which I created in the previous class. That is vendor object with the following fields: vendor city, vendor info, vendor name. Okay, the text value which I created. Okay, and um, so the same way I can create a number of fields on the same object. If you take about the account object, you have many fields, right? So you can see the many number of fields on the account object. If you want to view the fields in orderly way, just select this. Give me a second. Yeah, these are the fields, and I can scroll the fields by this way. Okay, I can scroll the fields by this way. So I am zooming out. So these are all the fields. Because out of this, there are many standard fields by Salesforce, but apart from that, I have created many custom fields also. Okay, and so I showed you, like in the previous class, there are some filters. If I want to show only custom fields, custom objects, that's this. The vendor which I created before, I can select and deselect here. This schema builder is useful for creating the new objects, new fields, new data models, new relationships. Okay, and you can see everything in a, yeah, you can see everything in a data model. Okay, in a UML diagram way. Okay, the relationship way, what is the master object, what is the child object, everything like this. I will talk about relationships in the next class. So what is the parent object, what is the child object, how to create relationships and everything. Okay, but I'm trying to show you the other option to you from here. This is one way of creating the fields. This is the old way. This is having around 5 steps for creating a field. Now I'm selecting a text object. I'm clicking on next to create a text field on the account object. But same thing I can create with less time, with less steps. Only with one step I can do that. The field name is account history, and length is 20-digit value. And I'm clicking on, see, the length of this account history is 20 digit. You cannot enter more than this. This is some type of validation what you are putting down. This is the maximum length you can allow in this text field. Okay, and apart from this, there are three other checkboxes here on the screen. One is required. This is the very basic validation. If you want to make sure that this field is required in entering the data into the system, the account object record. So for, if you feel this field is required, means important field, you select this. Means always require a value in this field to save the account record. Means without this value, you are not going to save the record. Okay, if I'm selecting the unique value, means you're going to accept only unique values into this field. So whether to take case sensitive or case insensitive, you are going to select this. Treat ABC and ABC as duplicate values. Treat ABC and ABC as different values. In this case sensitive. Most people will go with case insensitive only, because they consider ABC equal to ABC on account names or anything. Okay, they don't care. Okay, most guys will go to this. Okay, and external ID, this is useful for in using external integrations for storing SAP ID. Okay, so use external field for that. So if you are integrating your system with your third party system, if you want to store some ID, this external ID will automatically unique and and required. Okay, if I make this, it should be required. Okay, and default value I can set it. For suppose in my current system, the default value of the stock is $40. The reason why I am kept this is I simply want to put some basic value in the stock value. So $40 is the basic stock value. That's the reason all the customers will be having 40 value in their stocks. If I'm modifying it, yes, you'll have new value. If you are not modifying it, it will be having only the default value. Okay, I can give like this directly. If it is a text field, I have to give the text format. That is like this sample. This is the default value. Now I'm clicking on next. So this is the third step. First step is selecting the data type, putting down the name. um, second step is second step is putting down the name and setting the options like required, unique, external id field. And third step is field level security. What is field level security? So whether I need to show this field to this profile user or not. So Salesforce gives the capability to give a lot of security settings on any object on any field, whether to show that object to the people or not means the users are already means users are related to the profiles. Each and every profile can contain a number of users. If I am setting this field is visible to this guy, all the profile users who belongs to this profile can see this field. Okay, so that's how you can control the FLS, field level security here. Okay, right, and I'm clicking on next. So I will tell you what is read only field. So there are three cases. One way is showing the field on the page where you can enter some value. That means only visual option is checked. Sometimes if you don't want to allow people to enter the value into that field, that time you have to select read only field also. Okay. Why it's required option? Because why I'm not unable to check these records and read only? Because this is a required and unique field. In this case, I cannot modify these options in terms of required and unique. If it is required means it automatically should appear in all the page layouts in all the profiles. That's the reason the field also is automatically selected to this. But if I'm going to the previous step, see, I will show that option to you how it works. Yeah, I cannot click the buttons now because the reason why I am not unable to check the buttons is the reason is this. Clicking on next. See, now I have an option to select the buttons, check boxes. See, there are again, I'm repeating again, there are four ways. One is showing the field where user can enter the value and save the record. That is one way. In that case, you make it visible. Okay. If you want to make visible to all the profiles, select this. If you want to make only visible to only this cloud sales, cloud custom profile, this guy and this guy and this guy, yes, I can do that. Now the other profile users means these people and the below people cannot have access to this account history field on their page. They cannot even see the field because you are blocking at field level security. This is the basic first level security on the fields. And the second, the read only field. When you use the read only field, for suppose your customer is asking that I need to see the field on the page, but the person cannot enter the value. You don't want to take value from the user. In this case, you make read only. In this case, you cannot enter, you cannot, the user cannot enter value into this. Okay, so I will show that to you. This scenario I will explain later. Okay, let's, by default I'm giving visibility to that so that every person can see the field and they can even modify the field also. They can enter some value into that. Okay, I'm clicking on next. And the third scenario is if you don't want to show the field, remove both the options. That's it. User cannot see this field. Any of the user cannot see the field. If you want to see only by system admin, just select this. Now only this guy can see the record, can see this field. Otherwise, no. But by default, I'm giving access to all the people. Click on next. This is the third step. The fourth step is adding to the page layouts. Again, this is the one more layer of controlling the fields, one more layer of showing different options to different users. In the previous step, I'm simply giving whether the field is visible or not. But in the second step, I can tell where I can place this field, whether on the top of the page or bottom of the page, uh, or I can put the center of the page. I can control all this stuff in the page layouts, the user interface. For suppose some users want this field on the top of the page, some users want in the bottom of the page. That I can do with page layouts. I can create a number of page layouts. The people who want the field at the top of the page, I create separate page layout for them, and I assign that page layout to that people. That I can do with page layout assignment. I will show that to you. These are the page layouts available for the account object. Each and every object will have at least one page layout, okay, and they can have more than one page layout also, more than one, a number of page layouts. I'm clicking on save. This is the last step. I'm clicking on save. I'm adding this field to all the page layouts. If I'm not adding the field, means again it won't show on the page. The first layer is field level security. That's the very basic and very strong security, okay, thing. Security, you can do that for any field. The second thing is page layout. This is the top wrapper, means the user interface wrapper, where you can show and hide fields, make the fields required, make the fields read only thing. Also, you can also do this in page layout also. Okay, I'll show that option to you when we are demoing, because this comes in around fourth or fifth class. Okay, so now you have created a field. I will show that field to you. That is account history. That is here. I'm clicking on this. I want to show you how this field is looking like. Okay, the account history is a field. The label name is this. The field name is this. The API name is this. What is API name? Application Programming Interface name. If you want to interact with this Salesforce system from programmatically or from other systems by connecting via API, you have to use the name you have to call the object with this name. Otherwise, you can't get this name object information. You can't directly call with account underscore history. Why it is? Why is this? Because you neglect about book 9 underscore underscore. I don't want to talk about this in today's class. But actual API name for any custom object when you're creating in your developer federation is, if it is account space history, the field name is account underscore history. It won't allow any spaces, it won't allow any special characters and stuff. Okay, it replaces special characters and spaces with underscore. If you are giving two spaces also, it will consider only one underscore. Okay, and the API name will be account underscore history underscore underscore c. Every custom object field will be appended with underscore underscore c at the end. Means underscore underscore c represents it's a custom field. C represents for custom. Okay, so you don't remember you don't worry about this book 9. That's a different topic which I will tell later. You see only account underscore history underscore c. For suppose if I'm giving a field label as uh, uh, a country bond. Okay, for suppose if you want to, if customer want to know, sorry, headquarter company, company headquarters is the field name. What is the API name for that? What is the object name? What is the API name? The field name is, the field label is company space headquarters. The field name is company underscore headquarters. The API name is company underscore headquarters underscore underscore c. The field name and object API name are very similar, but there is only appended with underscore underscore c at the end of it. If you are using special characters, it won't be included in the field name or API name, because it won't allow things to save, means the special characters to save in the system. It won't allow underscore at the starting. It won't allow two underscores in the system also. Okay, this is the field definitions inside the backend. Okay, this is the length what you have given. This is the default value. These are the general options what you have not selected any of this. Okay, so do you want me to create one more field with the same name? I will show you that to you. Copy, come to the schema builder. Because I gently copied only the name and I hadn't copied any other thing. So coming here, I'm selecting objects. I'm selecting only account. That is here. Click on this. This is the account object. Because if I select contact and lead, it automatically link it with that, but I haven't selected that. So now the account history what I have created in the backend is here, 20 digit. Now I'll show that how to create one more field called account history 1. Same field I'll create within less than 5 seconds. See, copying and pasting, account history 20, save. That's it. Oh, it's already there. I will click on one because the same history is already there, right? That's reason it's showing some error because I cannot create the same field names. You got to know from this. Now see, account history is there, account history 1 also is there. Do you know how different it is? Because there's a lot of difference, right? You can create the fields really quick in schema builder, right? And okay, any questions? Okay, okay, cool. So same way, today I will show you how to create different fields, the options available here. But there is one small limitation in schema builder usage. You cannot create the geolocation fields, and there are some options which are not available like advanced formula fields, all this stuff. Okay, that is the only limitation. But still you can create the fields here, but you can still go back to the system and modify it. How to modify it? See, this is the account object. If you want to go to the account object in the backend, just click on this view object. What happens? It will take to the account object fields, the new tab. This is what opened when I clicked on that. And so if you want to see the field properties, right click on any of the field that is what is that, account history. Right click, view field in the window. Because you remember this account history 1 I created in the back in the schema builder, not from the backend. See, account underscore history 1 underscore c. The length is 20. Created by Venkat on 7:36 p.m. This is running in CST time. Don't worry about that. Currently we are in I'm in CST, you are in EST. So same way, so I'm going to create one more object and I will try to create all the fields here. Okay, very simple fields. These are formula fields. Okay, these are relationship fields. These are general fields. These are different type of data type fields. Okay, so I will create some sample object and I will do all this stuff now. See, just look into this. If you have any issues, you can just let me know. Sample, plural form is samples. You know, this is useful for putting down your tab name, right? And the sample name. So I will show you how to use the, or else I will go with invoice. Invoice, okay? Or else I will clear it from starting, okay? I will do one thing, okay? Give me a second. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. 1 second, please. Yeah. Can you speak now? Yeah, can you speak now? I can't hear you. Are you calling on phone? Because my phone I kept in another room. One second, okay. No, please don't call on my phone because it's a different room. Hey, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you typing things. Okay, can you speak? Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, but little, very less voice. Can you? I think your microphone, system microphone, is little bit uh, somewhat. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good now. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a very simple topic. Anyway, I just quick 2 to 3 fields. Okay. I think I already created vendor object and fields in the previous class. Anyway, so you tell me what all the requirements of vendor. So because vendor have phone number, city, information's name, vendor name, information, and so primary contact is this. So date of means company established date. Okay, vendor company is having established date also, right? Mm, company established. See, it simply have to give the field name like this. It automatically picks automatically the field name by putting underscores, and you can put down description and help text also. Help text will be shown on the page. This is useful for telling the users, hey, please put this information, that information, that, like this. Help text. Okay, default value, I don't need to put default value. Click on save. If you want to make this field required, select this option, otherwise no. Because don't make every field required. Make sure, means if you feel for account number which is required fields, by default account name will be required field by Salesforce. But if you want to make account number is required, because every account, if you want to assign some value, yes, I can make account number is required. If you are making all the fields as required, it's really tough for you, for the users to create data. So the business will tell you these are the important fields for on my account object, and I want to save the record only if the data is entered in these fields. Yes, in that case you have to put down the required option only for that fields. Okay, so this is how you can create this. For checkbox, for like if you want to check whether they are active, inactive, or whether the type of options, checkbox simply, right? Do you want me to allow send emails to you or not? Yes, check if yes, like that email, like that. Currency, for I'm using the revenue field also for vendor. Revenue field, that is 10 digit. I can give 12 digit because it's a company, and decimal place is 2, and I'm clicking on save. I am trying to store the revenue of this company vendor on my object with 12 digit and 2 decimals. And percentage H1 success rate. Okay, and I want to give the percentage is 3 digit length maximum, because I can give on 2 digit also, because maximum they can't go more than 99%, right? 2 decimal points also, like 45.95 percentage. Give like this. Click on save. This is H1 success rate. You are going to use the percentage value inside this. It's going to show the percentage symbol very next to the field. And same way, Pick list values I already created yesterday. What is multi-select pick list? Okay, services they offer. See, outsourcing. Some vendors will offer outsourcing, staffing, direct staffing. Okay, and trainings also. Okay, now these are the three values and other some like something like evaluation. Okay, corp to corp, corp to corp. Okay, and the visible lines is 3, meaning because this is a multi-select picklist value, because when you are selecting a city you are selecting only one city, but if you want to, because if this company is providing 3 to 4 services, I can select multiple values. I'm clicking on save. Okay, and apart from that, this is the multi-select picklist which I created. Now in this services field I can select multiple values. Okay, that's my requirement and I did that. And yeah, okay, text value, you know that text encryption value is useful for passwords. Okay, see, when I'm trying to copy this text encryption, it's asking me to what type of masking, to mask all characters or to mask only some characters or to mask it's a social security number, because these are all ways. Do you want me to mask last 4 characters clear, other all characters are masked? Because coming down to credit cards, last 4 digits is clear, it will show last 4 digits, it won't show all the previous 12 digits. Social security number, all these are all mask characters. If I'm clicking mask all characters, it will mask all the characters. Okay, and the mask type, whether it's star or X mark. So in terms of passwords, I'll go with mask all characters. In terms of credit card number, I use this SSN, last 4 digit characters. Sometimes if there is a 12 digit value, if I want to show only 4 digit value at the end, yes, I can go with this. And the length also I can give it. This is for encrypted fields. Users cannot see the data, but they can validate the data. For suppose the user who is entering the password on the front end page, you can validate the data whether this is equal to this data or not, but you cannot verify manually by seeing with your eyes, say saying this field is this is the same, because the complete characters is masked with stars or X mark based on your requirement here. And text area for description fields, you can accept very little big values. Long text area is for accepting very big number of values, around 32,000 lines of code. Okay, yeah, and rich text area is useful for accepting rich text, images, bold text, all type of values. You can prepare visual resume in this type of things. For example, if I want to describe about this company vendor in terms of by putting some bullets, by putting some headlines, yes, I can use this. And the URL field is useful for putting down their website links, blogs, their any other portal link for applying some positions for this vendor. I will put URL field to calculate their vendor website. See, this is really easy. You don't need to create any coding. You simply need to drag and drop things in schema builder. The same things will affect in the front end also, but there is very small difference between the fields creating from the back end, the field which I created like account history the first time with 4 steps and 5 steps. Because in the 5 steps, if you see in this schema builder, I am simply creating only the second step, the name. Dragging and dropping is clearing the first step, the data type selection. Second step is naming required options and options of that field. The second step I am doing it. But what about the third and fourth step I am not doing in the schema builder? That step I have to do manually at once for each and every object. Because now you haven't added this field to the page layout. So the reason that's the reason um, so when you are developing you're creating fields in the back end with create objects, all this stuff, it takes much time. For each and every field, it takes around a minute time, but here it takes 5 seconds for each field. But after five seconds of creating five fields, you can go to the page layout once and you can create everything. Add all the fields and page layout at one time. Then average time what you take in creating 50 fields in vendor object and 50 fields from schema builder on the vendor object and 50 fields from schema builder and 50 fields creation from the backend. The difference is like 10 minutes to 1 hour. It take 1 hour to create 50 fields inside vendor object from the backend with 5 steps, because schema builder is simplifying the effort of the developer to create really quick fields and you can quickly add things. But later on in tomorrow's class, I will talk about the page layouts, what to do with that and when to do. And same way, see, for suppose I will discuss, because I haven't discussed about the roll up fields, formula fields, and relationship fields. I will discuss about this means in technical means when we use this formula fields. You know when you use auto number field, it automatically increments the number based on the invoice or purchase number or order number, because every order should be unique. It automatically have a order format based on the number what you are seeing in the order. You can tell this is the order created on this date because the order number is this. The order 1024 is created after 1023, right? You know how, because it's a sequence. What is formula field? Formula field is useful to to calculate values based on some value. For suppose I'm telling you are creating invoice object. There is a field called um, invoice amount. Invoice is the amount the customer have to pay to you, but there is a tax involved here, that is 10%. If you want to calculate the tax automatically by your system, you can create formula field. If the tax is 10%, what you can do is you can create a formula field with return type as currency and return type equal to currency, and inside the formula field you define that the amount what the customer have to pay to you into 0.10 is equal to the tax. And what is the total value now? Amount plus tax equal total value. Now we can get one more formula field which calculates these two values. Okay, the amount plus amount into 0.10 will give the total value of that invoice, because whenever you are going and buying something, there is the actual product cost and there is tax. The tax is automatically calculated by some formula fields. Okay, we use that. I'm going to create some new object for that, that is invoice object in our system, and I will try that formula field to you. And actually in this current training I'm trying to build an application for my needs, for my training needs. If there is a need of formula field, I'll be using the real requirement to you. And finally, I will show you how this application is going to work in offering trainings and in collaborating with the participants and stuff. So this is the real app what I'm building for my company. Okay. So we use Training Force app. So this Training Force app is having customers. Customers are consultancies who take trainings from this company, from our company, and contacts are the people who belongs to that company, the owners of those consultancies, and the leads are the people who are consultancies who didn't become our customers. They are looking for some, because they are consultancies, but they are not our customers till now. They are, because we are trying to reach the new leads. Trainings are the offerings of our company. Enrollments are the consultants who are taking trainings from us. It will show enrollments here. Consultants are the people who are working for these customers. Customers are consultants in this scenario. Cases, if these consultants have any issues or if these contacts have any issues, they will reach out to our cases. I can show you how you can integrate Salesforce automatically with your website, with your case team, how that I have showed you in the demo in the first day, right? That's how I can completely automate my sales, service, and marketing automation in one application. This application is a custom application that is Training Force. Okay, because I cannot use my generic sales marketing call center. But for my needs, I need a very simple application which manages the trainings. See, if I click on trainings, I can see the salesforce.com training here. If I click on this, yes, there are some participants. There are some enrollments. Yeah, this is the training. These are training schedules. This is the training enrollment. I think which I haven't add here. This is the history of the trainings, and I can show click on consultants and I can see the people who are enrolled for these trainings. Okay, that's how it works. Yeah. So yeah, let's meet in tomorrow's class. In tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about the formula fields and automated things, and we are going to discuss about the relationship also. By the time you can explore creating the fields stuff, and I want to show you one thing. Do you have an edition to try on your own? If you want to take a new edition of Salesforce, just come. Don't go to login.salesforce.com and take free edition. It expires in 30 days. I want to take this edition. Go to developer.force.com, or if you go to your Canvas group, click on discussions. See how to try Salesforce for free. Click on this. Go to discussions. Click on this. See, if you are a business user, you can try Salesforce from login.salesforce.com and click on sign up for free. This instance is only for 30 days. But if you are a developer, you have to use Salesforce for years. For next 6 or 7 years or 10 years, you have to use Salesforce. That's the reason you can go to developer.force.com, click on this. It takes to this link, click on sign up. So when you click on sign up here, you're going to take edition that is free developer edition, which won't expire at all. You can try your things completely from here, and you are not losing the data after 1 month. But if you take edition from login.salesforce.com, you're going to lose all the data what you have created after a month. You can't access that organization. That's the reason I want you to take this organization and try your developments everything in this organization, so that you can work for next a number of years on this edition without losing your data what you have created. Got it? Any issues?
Yeah, Venkat, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I have already created a, so I have already created one. I have already
you
created
already
one.
created one. Yes, you can create a number of accounts. Yes, you can create one more account also, the same email. There's no problem.
So with the same email, I can create more accounts.
Can you tell me again?
Yeah, with the same email, I can create more accounts. The same
Yeah,
email.
you can see with the same email you can get one more account. That's not a problem. I generally having around 75 account, more than 75 accounts from my company editions and again developer editions. I mostly use enterprise developer editions. There's no issue. But the only thing is the username will be the same thing that is here, but the email will be the same thing, but the username should be unique. As you have already taken the same like your name at the rate of gmail.com as your username, try to take one other some different username like Arun at the rate of uh, cerebral.com. Also you can take it. Arun at the rate of gmail.com, Arun at the rate of ermclass.com. You can take anything. No one cares, but the username should be the unique value.
So I have two questions. One is so regarding the external ID.
Yeah,
Yeah, can you tell me what happens if I check on external ID?
what happens if you check external id is,
For example, for
yeah,
example,
if you are external id you have to make sure that you are trying to put down the unique values into it. Otherwise, so what happens is when you're trying to do insert duplicate values, it shows some error.
so external ID is supposed to flow from a different system.
I can't say exactly that because external ID we generally use for that scenarios, but still you can use internally also to make it.
I mean, I want one scenario where you use external ID.
Yeah, the scenario is for suppose, yeah, there is a system, CBEL, which is used by that company before using Salesforce because CRM is used by many people from many years, 30 years or 40 years, okay? But Salesforce is the new tool which is really good now. They are trying to migrate from CBEL to Salesforce. In this case, uh, they want some mapping between this because they first of all they migrate all the records to the Salesforce system with integration tool like Informatica Cloud or Cast Iron, any data integration tools. where they push all the data from that system to this system at once. At the time, what they will do is there is an ID in each and every system. Okay, there is SAP ID, there is Salesforce ID. Salesforce also is having ID for each and every record what you are creating in the database. That is 15-digit ID and 8-digit ID. There are 2-digit IDs. 15-digit ID and 8-digit ID both are same. You can convert from one ID to another ID. But what happens here is to match the records between this record. If for suppose if there is a company called Avon and if there is a company called Avon Inc. These two are different companies. But sometimes your data integration guy might get confused and they might have measured the, both the records. To overcome this issue, we generally create an external ID field and store the SAP ID or a CBL ID from that system. Means when you are trying to duplicate any values, it throws obviously some error. So this is the unique mapping what you want to do from both the systems. Okay.
So other cases we so external ID is used only during migration.
Yeah, integrations with other systems. It's useful to keep it whether the data record is mapped properly. So
Because I think every customer will have a customer ID, not just an expert. Will also have a customer ID.
yeah, so they have some idea, right? So because Salesforce have also have some Salesforce ID, Salesforce customer ID, Salesforce lead ID, Salesforce unique contact ID. Everything is unique. You can also do the same thing by creating some string value inside the Sable system, and you can store the Salesforce ID also. That that thing you can do. That's one way of doing it. But this is the best practice. Uh, so there is another way also doing these things. So you can't tell that the records available in Salesforce is completely in sync with the system or not. This is useful for mapping. Okay, this is useful for mapping the records in Salesforce system and other system external ID fields.
So do the developers also have access to the backend?
Developer, yes, completely because Salesforce database is completely on cloud again. You can access the database from third party tools like, yeah, it's again by Salesforce, Workbench from the front end. And there is SQL Explorer where you can query the where you can query the database from SQL Explorer. That's an offline tool where you have to put down your username, password, and token, and you can query the records from that.
Could you just tell me that again? What is the backend?
Uh, so backend is database.com. So that's by Salesforce. That's also completely on cloud. So the data what Salesforce is showing on your screen is completely on cloud. For taking the data onto your desktop or for exporting the things, you have to use tools like Apex Data Loader and SQL Explorer to see the data view things. Okay, and there's one more tool called Workbench because I show these things everything. Okay, when data management comes into picture, I will show that thing. Okay, you don't need to worry about that.
How is test so if so how is testing performed on Salesforce? So do you have a test environment where you
Exactly, because yeah, there are environments. Okay, testing sandbox will be there. QA sandbox. Sandboxes are the environments where it's looks very similar like the production environment, and you useful for testing, developing things. Developer sandbox for developing new modules. You test these modules in QA sandbox, and you finally deploy these things to the full copy sandbox, which have real-time data. Later on, you finally deploy it to production. These are sandboxes also. Sandbox logins will go from login.salesforce.com. The logins which I'm daily using is login.salesforce.com is called. For developer logins and production logins, you use login.salesforce.com. All the sandboxes you have to log in with test.salesforce.com. Yeah, because everything I have because everything is in our plan, our training plan. I will show that to you. What are sandboxes? Everything is there. But anyway, now currently I am showing you what is how to develop applications with Salesforce. Later on, when we come with data management, I will talk about this data management issues. Yeah, you are really good. You are understanding the things really faster, and uh, how really you want to know how things work really in enterprise. That's the reason you were asking these questions. That's fine.
yeah,
Yes,
thank
you
you.
have everything. All these concepts are covered in our syllabus.
Like tomorrow and okay, that will be fine. Tomorrow we can
Cool. Yeah.
talk like more in detail.
Right. Perfect. And please don't worry about the dates you are seeing on the canvas. The dates are for the old batch. No problem. You can view the assignments at any point of time whenever you're free. Just do it. If you are familiar that you can do this assignment, you do it, and that's fine. Yeah, cool. Hey, let's meet in tomorrow's class exactly at 9 o'clock.